I'm Heather from Year Booktubes, and today is 4 years on Booktube. So this is my Q&A for it. Thank you so much to everyone who gave me questions. I'm very excited about it. I am so happy to be here. I'm so happy that 4 years have passed and I am still making videos on Booktube. Even though the numbers are not what I would have liked them to be at this point, I am still having so much fun making videos. I enjoy it so much. I enjoy the community that I have, whether that is just as a viewer and I don't know you in any other way, or the people that I watch, or the people that have become my friends, or that I'm in DMs with, as well as comments and things like that. I love it so much. It has enriched my life so much. I don't know what my life would look like, honestly, these last 4 years if Booktube wasn't a part of it. It's really become such a big part of my life, and it is something that gives me a lot of joy, a lot of fulfillment, both creatively and also socializing, which is not my favorite thing, but I kind of love doing over the internet. So this is a really big deal to me. I'm really happy about it. I'm happy to be here making videos for you still 4 years later. I asked for questions on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, so we're gonna go through those. How did you make your bookish friends? The number one thing that I can say about bookish friends is it's a little bit of a game of chance, honestly, but also I did lives with them and I followed them on other platforms other than YouTube, and I spent a lot of time and energy interacting with people, and sometimes those people evolved into friends and sometimes they didn't. And there are creators that I watch all the time that I've never interacted with and I really love their videos anyways, right? And then there are some people who, I put in a lot of effort and we are not friends. So it's a little bit of a game of chance, but the biggest thing is interacting with people over and over and over again. Respond to their posts, interact with them. I think that it's really helpful if you make videos yourself, because then you can become more of a full person in their mind rather than just a profile picture. But maybe that's just me and the way that I recognize people, but it's kind of a game of chance. But basically it's a lot of effort. Go out of your way to interact with people. Have you always DNF'd books this much, or was that a post-YouTube thing? It's not a post-YouTube thing, but it is a post-KU thing. So I grew up with my appetite for reading far outpacing the availability of books to me, so I rarely DNF'd. I would still sometimes, but rarely, because reading a mediocre book was better than reading no book at all. And I couldn't just go and get another brand new book to replace it, whether that was from the library or from a sale or just from my parents' shelves. I was certainly not going to bookstores and buying books. That was well outside our realm of reality. But all of the books I read had to have been monitored by my mom first. So they didn't want anything gay, they didn't want any anything sexual of any kind. They didn't want rebellion against parents, and there was a lot of stuff that they monitored for. The amount of books that I could read could not keep up with my reading. I have always been a book a day kind of person. I could read multiple books in a day, and I did. So yeah, I didn't really tend to DNF them until I got Kindle Unlimited and had more access to ebooks. And now the TBR is never ending, and I consider that such a privilege. In my wildest dreams as a child, I don't think that I could fathom having access to this many books and being able to read as many books as I possibly could and not run out. DNFing is always something that I would have been inclined to do, but it's something that I really consider a privilege that I can DNF this book and I can pick up another one. What are your channel highlights? I don't know, probably my live shows, my live discussions. I think that those are highlights. Also, I have a lot of discussion videos that I'm really proud of, honestly. So I guess those. Books you're grateful you found because of your channel. I'm trying to think. I feel like the books that I found are more because of like other people's channels and content. Books I'm grateful that I found because of YouTube and Booktube as a whole are it's more like authors. And those would probably be Christina C. Jones, Claire Kent, and M.A. Carrick. Best skill you've acquired making videos. When I started, I was so nervous. I would have to take like huge, deep breaths and like cut out like that, like every sentence. Every point. Like, it was very stressful for me, and I don't feel that way anymore. And I knew that if I continued with it, I would get comfortable. So I think that, and just editing videos, I feel like those are probably a bit obvious, but it's true. What has been your favorite thing about Booktube? Getting to talk about the books that I read, talk spoilers, and get recommendations from other people about books. My love of reading books has always been the driving force behind me loving Booktube. So again, while that's maybe kind of a boring answer, I love, again, like, go back to me having a reading appetite that far outpaced my availability of books. I love getting to know about books and getting to talk about books and being able to say anything that I want about a book that I read, and I'm not talking to someone who is just indulging me because they love me. I am talking to people who actually want to hear those thoughts about that book, and if they don't have to watch. And I don't know, it's very freeing because I can say everything I have to say, and that's fine. I don't have to cut myself off. Something you hate / love about Booktube. Something I hate about Booktube is the pressure that people put on themselves to read specific books or to read at all. I think if you're not enjoying your reading, truly what's the point? And love about Booktube, I love getting to watch fun things about my hobby. I just do. I like it. That's why I'm here. How do you come up with ideas for your content? I have a running list in my phone. Anytime I have an idea, I write it down. If it is inspired by anyone, I include who I got the idea from, because otherwise I will probably forget. And I am really big on giving credit to people who inspired you. I think it costs you nothing. I think it's a shitty thing to do if you don't. Like, I don't know, like that. I don't like that. It costs you nothing to say, hey, I saw this person's video and it made me want to do this. My ideas, though, are almost never copy and paste from other people. Sometimes they are, right? Sometimes it's just a full fleshed out idea and there's no reason to tweak it in any way. But I have no trouble coming up with ideas for my content. Like, I can come up with ideas for your content. Give me 2 seconds and I can give you video ideas. It's not difficult for me, but I really do. Whenever I think of something, I just write it down on my phone and I have a list that I go to. So I don't know, it's usually just a random thought and I'm like, oh, I could do that, but I could do this way. That's with the filter of things that I know that I would enjoy making and things that I think I would be interested in watching. Because I think some of the most creative things don't really translate into people wanting to watch them because they're a little too hyper specific. Favorite video you've made? Probably my Not Like Other Booktubers videos. I really enjoyed those. That was fun. I'm also really happy that I finally made the purity culture one and dubious consent. That's one that I've been thinking about for probably the entire 4 years, and I'm really happy I made it. Top 5 favorite booktubers. This is such a crap question, and you know it. You know who you are. I almost feel like I should exclude my friends from being possible answers. Right now, I'm obsessed with Meg with books. I didn't watch her for a long time, even though I would get her recommended, because she looks a lot like this one cleaning YouTuber that I watched that I got really turned off by during the Black Lives Matter movement, when she was just in the South, this white lady pretending like none of that was happening, and I just stopped watching. I was like, absolutely not. Anyway, she looks a lot like Meg. A lot. And so that's such a stupid reason. But so I refused to click on her channel because I was like, no, I can't do this. But then she had Ashley from Bookish Realm, who I adore, and Bree from Lock Petition, who I adore, on a Battle of the Booktubers video. And I watched it because my friends were on there and I wanted to support them. And then the video concept was so much fun and it looked like such a nightmare to edit. And that is when I subscribed and started watching her. And we don't have those same reading tastes almost at all. We have like the tiniest sliver of overlap. And I've never interacted with her outside of watching her videos or anything, but I love watching her videos. I'm so happy when she posts. Another one that I started watching is Literary Diversions, which actually Steph at Novelty Corner knows her, so that was cool. But I got a random like series spreadsheet or something video, and I liked her personality so much, and I like the way that she formats her videos. So again, very little reading overlap, but I really love watching her videos. Another one is Jan Agaton. Her videos are such an aesthetic vibe. Like everything feels so themed, and it's just because her life is themed to her particular like vision. But I just have a fun time watching her because of that. Two more that aren't my friends. I don't know if I have two more that aren't my friends that I like love that much. What a terrible question. Why would you do this to me? All right, let's just go with friends. We're gonna pick two random ones. I love Ashley from Bookish Realms discussion videos more than like any other YouTube content out there. I love them so much. I always click on them with the idea that like I already know this and I already agree with her. And then there's always something in her video, the way that she says it, that I'm like, huh, that's absolutely correct. And I have literally never thought of it that way. And then the other one is going to be Steph from Novelty Corner. I watch all of her videos. I get so many book recommendations from her. I don't think that she gets the respect that she deserves. So way to go. I hope you're happy. Why did you start your channel and how did you choose your channel name? I started my channel because I wanted to talk about books. I've been thinking about making a channel for a couple of years at that point. My youngest was barely 2 years old and we got good internet for the first time, and so I started. I wanted to make videos. That's really why I started. How did I choose my channel name? I'm so glad you asked. So my name is Heather. The first three letters of my name are H-E-A, and my childhood nickname was Hia. And then an H-E-A in the book sphere is Happily Ever After, so it indicates a romance channel. And so it was a double meaning, H-E-A Booktubes or Hia Booktubes. It's me booktubing. So I wanted to start talking about romance books, and so that's the channel name that I picked. I wanted to have booktube in my name. I thought it might show up in search, and that did not pan out. But I love my channel name. It will never ever change. What's something you've learned from these 4 years on booktube? I guess that booktubers come and go, and you have to keep making community. I have friends, they don't make bookish content anymore. So even though we still have that personal relationship, I don't have that relationship in the community with them anymore. Yeah, you have to keep doing booktube the way that you like to do booktube, and you have to keep trying to find new people. If you could stop past you from picking up a book, which one would it be? Coin by K. Webster. I hate that book. I hate that book. How's the content you want to make changed? So I started out making an absolute ton of recommendation videos. I made hundreds in my first couple of years on booktube. I was making 3 videos a week, and at least 1 or 2 of them was a recommendation video. I did recommendation videos for pretty much anything that you can think of, and I loved making them, and I had a really good time making them. But then my subscription feed ended up being like nothing but recommendation videos, and I got the ick so bad that even though my subscription feed no longer looks like that, I am not as enthusiastic about making recommendation videos as I used to be. I do still like to have them, partially because I want to be recommending diverse books, and a lot of those recommendation videos don't really have that in there. So I want to still be putting out that content, but not the way that I was before. I like a themed vlog more than I ever thought that I would. Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest difference. Any author, books, or genre that you've always wanted to dive into but just haven't been able to touch yet? No. No. If I want to read it, I pick it up, and if it's just languishing on the TBR, I assume I don't really want to read it that bad, and I delete it and never think about it again. How do you manage your time as a mom and a booktuber? So I mentioned when I started my channel, my youngest was 2. I started the channel by filming all 3 videos on Sunday afternoons. My husband would have the kids. He would give them screen time, but he would also, you know, troubleshoot all of the things. And that was an act of love that he did for me, and I would film all my videos in that chunk of time. And then because I edit on my phone and everything, I could, you know, do that while doing something else. They got into their cartoon, you know, whip out the phone and edit for a couple minutes, stuff like that. And also my videos were really short, and that helped tremendously. Now my kids are 11, 9, and 6, and they also have had the routine for 4 years that mom is gonna film a video, so it's just not really a big deal anymore. But as you will sometimes see from vlogs and things like that, if parenting needs to happen, booktubing is going to pause. And then if it's not important and I'm in the middle of something, they know to respect the fact that I'm busy with something. I just try to make choices that I am happy with at the end of the day when I'm laying in bed at night and beating myself up for not being a better person. But I know that there has to be a balance between taking care of other people and taking care of myself, and I've never wanted to be a martyr. So, what book do you hope to make your legacy known for recommending? This is such an impossible question, but I'm just gonna go with Ilona Andrews. I think if more people read Ilona Andrews, my life's work would be done. Favorite book to film adaptation? This is easily the BBC miniseries for Pride and Prejudice. No question. Have you ever DNF'd a book but went back and read it and it's actually good? I've DNF'd books and gone back and read them and they were 4 stars. I've never gone back and read them and was like, what a huge mistake. It's always been like, you know, that was exactly what I expected it to be. I think I know my reading taste really, really well, to be honest. There are 2 books that I almost DNF'd that are all-time favorite books and I would have really regretted. One is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. It kind of starts out with a bully high school type setting. I wasn't really that into that because I wanted a fae, you know, intrigue book, but it does develop into that, so I'm really glad I didn't DNF that. And the other is The Thief by Megan Whalen Turner. It's a very slow start. I did almost DNF this as a child, but I was on a road trip and had no other books, so I continued it. And that's my all-time favorite series. So, but no, I've never picked a book up and been like, how could you DNF this? I know why I DNF'd it. And you know what? It didn't surprise me that it was still an okay book. My DNFs are not always bad books by any stretch of the imagination. It's just, I don't feel like reading this, so I'm not going to. How were you able to remain consistent? What were your original channel goals? The number one way that I remained consistent was filming all my videos at the same time and then putting them up. I've also cut back on videos over the years, and sometimes I've taken little breaks where I skip a video or two, and that has been good. I try to really pay attention to what I have the bandwidth for and not try to force it, because I've always been conscious of the fact that I didn't want to burn out. I wanted to continue making booktube videos. And my original channel goals were actually to make videos for a year. That was my goal. I didn't want to give up because I wasn't making friends. I didn't want to post 1 or 2 videos and die off. I didn't want to have month-long breaks in between my videos. My goal was to give my channel a chance for somebody to find it and to keep making it and to get better at it and see if I was enjoying it. And ultimately, I've enjoyed it the entire way through, so much more than I even thought that I would. If you could only recommend one book from KU, which book would it be? What is this? I'm just gonna say Hold by Carrick. It's a Prison Planet book. I love that book with my entire being. How has your reading taste changed in 4 years? I actually got this question quite a bit. The biggest thing is when I started my channel, I did not care to read diversely. That only lasted for a couple of months. I changed my mind basically in June of 2020 when there were so many conversations happening specifically in the bookish space, and I was seeing them and I was like, okay, I hear you. I feel like what you're saying is true and that what I'm doing is not good enough, and I'm going to change that. And I did immediately, and have never gone back. But that's probably the biggest one. The other one, since I did get asked this so many times, the other thing is I have really kind of gone through cycles on subgenres. So I used to read a lot of Omegaverse, a lot of alien romance, a lot of motorcycle clubs, a lot of why choose romance, even a fair bit of historical romance, and I don't really read those that much anymore. It's all about mood reading for me though, so if I feel like picking one up, I certainly do. Is your favorite video made your most popular video? No, my most popular video of all time is my first Jealous and Possessive recommendation video. That's my most popular video. My favorite videos have done well, but they're not the most popular. Do you feel that your most popular videos represent your channel well, and were they the videos you thought would take off? Kind of, yeah. I always assumed that my recommendation videos would do well, especially over time, and that's been true. My discussion videos, I've expected to do well. One recommendation video that did really well that really surprised me was long romance recommendations. I didn't think that would do very well, and it did do quite well. And all of my videos, I think, represent my channel well, to be honest. At what point in your booktube journey did you feel like, yes, this is the thing I like to do that other people enjoy seeing me do? From the very beginning. Or else I probably wouldn't still be doing it. I love making videos. I'm so glad that somebody watches them. But if I were just doing it for the numbers, I definitely would have quit by now, for sure. But I love making videos, and I really love the people that interact with me on them. If you had one piece of advice you'd want to give smaller bookish channels, what would that be? Do lives. Shoot your shot. Get people on your channel. Get people together in a live setting. I think that is the best way to build community. Can't think of a question, but love your 24 and 24 vlogs. Thank you. How do you get prettier every year? It's makeup. I like aging. Aging is, I'm happy being older than I was. What genres do you avoid? Horror. I don't enjoy the feeling of being scared. I also like grimdark. I don't like trauma. I don't like being sad. I don't like it. Favorite novels outside of romance? The Queen's Thief series by Whalen Turner. Books you wish were movies? The Queen's Thief series by Whalen Turner. I would love Tamora Pierce's books to be a movie. I don't love watching romance movies all that much. So books that surprised you. I feel like books don't surprise me all that often. I'm just gonna go with I Think I Might Love You by Christina C. Jones. I was really surprised by how funny that book was. What pens do you use to write in your planners, journals? I use the Papermate Inkjoy gel. Well, still not a professional. That's what I use. I like these pens quite a bit. What is your favorite comfort food? Pasta. If we're actually talking comfort food, then it is Italian wedding soup. That's what I want when I'm sick. Current song on loop, Wannabe by Glorilla and Meg Thee Stallion. I have been obsessively listening to that when I'm not listening to Cowboy Carter. About 20 missed calls, he's faded, white boy wasted, Channing Tatum. I love that song. I'm listening to it a lot. Have you gotten into audiobooks? No. Is there one that stayed with you because of the narration? I've only ever completed 3 audiobooks, but the one I'll say for this is, well, I don't remember what it's called. Bryony and Roses, maybe, by T. Kingfisher. It is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Yeah, Bryony and Roses. I know what I'm talking about. What's your favorite place you visited? The Rocky Mountains as a kid in Colorado. Favorite booktube memory? Live shows. Talking to my friends after live shows. Even watching live shows. I love watching live discussions. I really miss. We used to have that a lot during lockdown, and I miss those so much, which is why I do them. But like, I want to watch other people's too. I don't just want to be in it. Pets names. My dogs are Orchid because that's my favorite flower, and Opie because my husband loved Sons of Anarchy. And then our cats that we got thinking they were girls started out as Bella and Saphira, and now are Floki and Loki. What's your favorite piece to play on piano? Solfeggio. I learned that as a kid, and it's just really fun. It's like really fast runs. And then I also love anything with arpeggios, which are broken chords, like the dun 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 dun. I like the flow of that on piano. I just enjoy that. Is Booktube all you ever thought it would be? Yeah. Like, I don't know, guys. I am a little bit analytical and emotional combined. So, like, I don't know. It's what I expected it to be. There are people that I don't like. There are people that are fake. There are people that are amazing. I wish it was easier to find people on Booktube. What are 3 books or characters from books you relate to most? I don't. I don't really relate to characters a whole lot. One would be Role Playing by Cathy Yardley. The fact that she's an introvert, but that doesn't make her shy, and it doesn't make her afraid of conflict, I think I really identified with. I feel like my favorite characters are ones that I think are so much smarter than me, so I don't really identify with them. I don't know, that's all I've got for you. How many physical books do you really own? Let's see, I recently acquired another 5, so I don't know. I will insert an editing clip, but I'm gonna guess 25. So I have 4 that are on my TBR, I have 10 that are on my shelves, and I have 15 in the attic that I could honestly get rid of and be happy. So right now I have 29, 4 to be read. Couple of authors all romance readers should read. Okay, I kept just saying the same names over and over again. Let me switch a couple out. Some authors I really think that you should try are Rebekah Weatherspoon, Katrina Jackson, Cathy Yardley, Jackie Lau, Aveda Weiss, Kat Giraldo, Kate C. Wells. I think if you haven't read all of those, you should try them. When a book or character makes you mad, who's the first person you rant to about it? This varies a lot. It depends on if someone else has read the book. Right now, it's Tracy at Bookends to Bookends because I'm giving her all my reading updates and Instagram DMs. Other than that, either Robin at Paperbacks and Planners, Steph at Novelty Corner, or quite possibly my husband if he's home. Finish the sentence. I would never read a book that is gut-wrenching. Do you ever feel triggered when reading about characters that are basically doormats to their family? Yes. Yes, I do. My family was not toxic. My family was not bad, but all of my issue with my parents kind of comes down to their religious and political beliefs. I was raised to be submissive. I was raised to, you know, this is right and this is true. And they believed it and they did it themselves. But I always had issue with it, and that just grew more and more as I got older. And so when I read about characters who just do what their family wants them to do, when they act like it's against everything that they believe in themselves, it does. I can feel it right now. I can feel this knot inside my chest. Like, I really despise the feeling of it, and so I don't like reading those. The first book that I ever read that really turned that on its head was The Blue Castle by Ellen Montgomery. She starts out completely trapped and hemmed in by her family and by poverty and just this fear of life going on and never changing. And then she gets a medical diagnosis that says that she has a year to live, and she decides that she's going to live that year in a way that she thinks is moral and ethical, and she changes everything about her life with the idea that she's going to die. Ultimately, she doesn't. So, you know, if you're looking for a true like chronic illness or other health representation, it's not really the book that I recommend for that, because that's not what it ends up being. But seeing her trapped in by other people's expectations and then just being like, you know what? I'm an adult. That was life-changing for me. What do you think of excessive swearing in your books? It does not bother me. The only thing that bothers me is if it's standing out to me and I don't feel like it's true to the character's dialogue. Ultimately, I don't want to know these things, right? I'm trying to enjoy your book. I'm trying to just go with the flow. So if something like actively stands out to me, that's kind of a bad thing most of the time. I want to just be immersed and be like, yes, they're talking. I'm following. Favorite cake flavor? I don't really like cake very much, but my favorite is probably a mocha poke cake. This is our last question. This is a long video. Favorite and least favorite parts of making videos? My favorite part is probably filming. I love to hear myself talk, which is why I like editing, because then I hear myself talk. I like filming. I like doing the talking. I like doing the editing. My least favorite part is definitely the admin stuff, saving it, uploading it, typing out all the description, doing all the monetization and the tags and the playlists and the I don't like that part as much, but I usually watch a booktube video while I do it, so it's no big deal. And that's it. That's the questions that you guys sent me. Thank you so much. I'm really happy. Yeah, 4 years later, still here, still loving it, which is why I'm here. I enjoy making videos, but I probably wouldn't make them. Let's be perfectly honest. I probably wouldn't make them if nobody was watching. So I really appreciate all of you who have ever interacted with me in any way. And if you want to talk to me, DM me on Instagram. I like talking to people. You are never bothering me by leaving a comment or by responding to an Instagram story or anything like that. Like I have said many times, I'm not always the best at answering things because I get overwhelmed and I'm like, ignore everything. If we don't look at it, it's not there. But like, you are never annoying me by sending me stuff. My channel is not big enough that I'm like overwhelmed by notifications constantly. So I like getting them. Always interact with me if you want to. So I really appreciate all of you. Thanks for watching this very long video that's just me talking about me. You're the best. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.